Welcome back to Let's Cash More Mash. My name's Tom.
This could be challenging, Mike.
And today, Subscriber Sample Saturday. So today's Subscriber Sample Saturday is brought to you by Danny Dodd.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, Danny, for sending this
Welcome
in.
back.
If you're following along at home, this happens to be sample 14 that you had sent in. So what we do with Danny, because we have already cracked a lot of the ones, or actually all the ones that he had sent in, but I've been taking, because he sent in 2 samples of each, so I've been taking samples that he had, and I've been pairing them up against other stuff that we have to see where they run across. So sample 14 happens to be the Widow Jane Lucky 13. He got it for approximately $130. It comes in at 93 proof. It's aged 13 years, not finished. It's 70% corn, 20% rye, 10% malted barley. Now, I wanted to see against a 95 proof Penelope wheated bourbon that comes in 95 proof. It's a 4-grain. We got it for $29.99. So I wanted to see, since they're around the same proof.
That's always my question, because
This one's 93. This one's 95. They're around the same proof, but this is a rye. This is a wheater. I thought I would balance it out. I was curious to see. I wanted to see because I remember liking this one. And for $29.99 or $130, if they're close, then this is a win. That was my theory in that. You know what I mean? But we did this the old school Blind Friday rules. So those of you that have been around are going to know. Mike's out of the room. I poured them from him. I leave the room. He pours them from me. We may or may not be drinking the same thing at the same time. You're going to know what we're drinking when we run the B-roll. These are always tricky when we do them this way, providing everybody knows which way we actually move them.
It is going to be tricky.
All right, so glass number 1. Again, I don't remember this one when we did it. It was so long ago.
I don't even remember Widow Jane being like a top tier of ours.
That's what I mean. I don't remember loving it. I did like the Baby Jane when we had it, but again, it was pricey. That's the problem with the Widow Jane ones, is they always come in with a price tag. You know what I mean? This isn't a bad nose on.
It's not crazy, but it's not.
But it's not nothing.
Right. Okay. Good double answer.
Kind of reminds me of the Blind Fight Friday first nose, but boy, the viscosity and the flavor is better though.
But yeah,
you know what I mean. On whatever
good
one
little
is
sweetness in that too.
There was a sugary sweetness. Kind of reminded me initially when I drank it as what glass 1 of Blind Fight Friday was yesterday.
But it turned into a nut.
It had more. Yeah, I know it had more of a flavor coming out of it. Finn, lay down, buddy.
I'm not disappointed. That's actually pretty tasty.
No, I'm not disliking that in any way. That has a nice viscosity. It actually coats very well.
It does. Agreed. It's only 94 or 95 or whatever.
It's not generously like complex. It's bringing kind of that mono flavor throughout, but it's a solid flavor throughout. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that part of it, I didn't mind that at all. And I'll agree with you, because the ones we did for Blind Fight Friday, if you didn't watch, you can go back and see. One was 109 and one was 114, and it's drinking about the same as what those did.
I will agree 100%.
It's not drinking like watery at all. No.
And I can't believe those 2 were that high.
No, I know. I agree. Those were 2.
Yesterday
Again, that was a reason why I liked both of them, because they don't drink their proof.
This actually might have a nuttier nose right now.
I don't know about your nut, but let me see. Hold on a minute.
It's got a stronger nose.
I agree.
All right, I'm going down. This is almost so close to the last one.
It is, because this one is bringing a little bit more viscosity, a little bit more complexity. It's like a mirror image of yesterday.
I don't know if it's hanging on as long, though, but it's nuttier.
I agree. I think one may hang on a little bit too, but I don't know the nut. You know what I think I'm getting? I think your nut is going to be my oak, but let me take my second sip first.
It's pretty nutty to me. I don't
There
know
was
if
a way different flavor.
it
for
is.
sure.
It is
Like,
that, and I
total
don't
different
even know if
taste.
it's hanging around as long.
I agree. I think this one might even hang on a little bit longer.
One,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, not that this was here today. It might have an end oak drizzle on
Mhm.
on two.
That's why when you said, "Oh, it's drinking soft as silk," though.
No, I get a front nut to that, and then it almost ends with an end oak drizzle.
I'm getting
I
the
don't
oak
even
on the
know
end of that one for sure.
a what.
I'm getting an oaky finish on that one for
Yeah,
sure.
and now after the second sip, I may be nudging that one because it seemed to have a better ride than one.
Yeah, we can knick-knack back and forth on this one then. Again, we may or may not be drinking the same thing, but I think today but then again, last time we did it like this, we were talking exactly the same thing and they were totally opposite. But that's the fun part of doing that because it can happen that way.
Mhm.
And it's funny off the nose when you say that. No,
There's no crazy nose in one.
Okay, so if you can use your imagination, I'm more towards like an oatmeal with a slight hint of a pecan in there.
Oatmeal.
Yeah. No?
No.
Well, all right, you're broken. That's what popped into my head when I just took that sniff. That's all. Coming off of two. It turned it a little bit.
One may have a little more of a kick.
Oh, that definitely brings it to me though. It brings me that. You don't get that really. Like I'm getting like an oatmeal with like a sprinkled like a pecan nut, not so much a peanut. But
It's
like
more
a
nut
pecan.
to me in two, but one drinks a little harsher to me.
I'll agree.
Not
Two drinks more in a refined manner for sure.
it
I
does.
will agree with that 100%. All right, we can knick-knack. So
It's.
I forgot to check. Two brings more of a punch in flavor, where like
Pungent?
punch and like a punch in flavor. Like it brings a little bit more of a stronger flavor.
I'll go with that. It's stronger flavor.
Yeah, so like it hits you a little bit like woo. There's when you go to swallow it.
They're both they're both pretty good.
No, they're very
but
good. I agree.
I have more of a nut oak finish in
Mhm.
two
Mhm.
than one. Let me go back to one and get that finish. I think
And when you drink it, the intensity of the amount of flavor hits you a little bit harder.
it does.
Where one
It's more pronounced.
more of a straight. This is the same note, and you're going to get it.
but
it's very good.
But it seems to kick a little more.
A little bit more
Elbows, a little bit more
slightly
elbows.
more elbows.
Than two. I
Slightly
think so.
more. I agree, but I think two is a little bit more viscous. It coats more, but it's more with that punch of flavor. So you're not getting it drinks more refined. So you're not getting that aggressiveness as much.
Okay, that could be the explanation.
That's just my reasoning behind it. The nose, 100% goes to two. Not even a question.
It definitely goes to two. I don't know if I don't really dislike either one of these, to be honest with you. I'm kind of leaning towards two. It's a little bit better of a ride.
With the strong oaky presence that two is bringing, and the fact that it starts out with more of like a caramel base and then it hits you with the oaky presence at the end, there's a more of a complexity that I think there's even a better viscosity. I'm going to do the finish and then we're done. But I give the nose for sure. I even give the palate to glass number two. I just want to see who lasts longer, just for fun.
The nose definitely is going to two.
The palate to me is going to two.
I think
it brings a little bit more of a complexity.
There's just, and not that I'm upset with ones. It's got a little bit of a sparkle more, but.
Sorry about that. No, it's way more intense. It coats way better. It's way more viscous. The problem being, the reason I wanted to do this, the answer to my original question, and again, this is just me. You don't have to take it at that. I think whatever two is better. I think possibly that's the case in mine. That two is the more expensive one. But
Widow Jane.
Yep. For the $29.99 as opposed to the, what did he say, $130 or $150 that he paid? Is it that much better? I don't believe so. Like I would take either of these.
So you said that was a rye though.
This does have rye in it. It's not a rye.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No.
All right.
It is 70% corn, 20% rye, 10% malt. It's a bourbon.
So
They're
if
both
I'm,
bourbons.
I actually agree with you because I already wrote 1P, and I think Widow Jane is to my right as well.
Yeah.
But with the higher rye, it should have been. This has more of a sparkle, but I still think this is a bit. And it's a weeder, but I still think that's on my left.
But the
hand.
difference being is they're not so drastic that it's worth $120 more.
I'm with you there.
Well, 100 and whatever the math is, you know what I mean? So I think it's $30 to $130. So it's not $100 better. That was my whole point. Where this is a good bargain wheat whiskey, no matter which one it is, whether it wins or it loses, it's not totally dominated by something that's $100 more. That's all I was getting at. That was my curiosity factor. I remember really liking that one. So to me, I do believe I got Penelope on the left.
And that's what I gave you.
Okay, so this one's me. So Penelope was on my left, and Widow Jane was on your right, and that's first and second. And you believe it's the same way?
I do.
And that's exactly what it is. Penelope was on your left, and Widow Jane was on your right. So today, in Widow Jane,
and I do see them. We can get them, but again, like you said, $130.
They come out pricey, and again, I mean, if we actually had the bottle, this would probably be a good one to put up against the mine went black Shanks. That was like 92 proof. This Widow Jane, you know what I mean? Because
I think it would beat it. Actually,
we haven't dragged that out in a long time.
I think that might beat it.
Man, if I was thinking, I'm sorry, Danny. If you wanted to see, that's it. This is the end of that, anyways. But it was one of them. I said I do remember really liking this, and man, if this $29 one can pull it out, that's just a win. In my personal,
I don't know if Shanks could beat that.
No, the Widow Jane.
Yeah,
I don't know if it would either. I remember it having
has
a good flavor for the low proof that it is.
Yeah.
I'll have to dig in here
again,
and see what else we have.
That was right up there.
Yeah. No, it had some money to that one too. Probably would have been a better thing. I just happen to see this one. I'm like, I do remember liking that, and it's right around the proof. I'm going to throw it up against it. But again, thank you, Danny, for sending this in.
Thank everybody.
It's always fun to do these anyways, just because this is one we've never had. So
correct.
To put it up against something, I just wanted to see, did it win? Hands down.
It did.
Did it totally dominate and make it? No. Because this, for $100 less, is a great alternative. It's still a great bottle. That's all I can say on that one. So
it held its own.
It did. It didn't get blown away. It wasn't like, it's not even in the same realm.
No,
I had to think about it a little
again,
bit.
I mean, it is a weeder, but
yeah,
you're right.
But there was definitely
Shanks could have been.
It probably would have been a better
call,
one. But yeah, no, hindsight's 2020. There
it
you
is.
go. I just thought of it in my little pea brain. It popped into my head. Sorry, I can't talk and swallow at the same time. So, well, there you go. That's Subscriber Sample Saturday. That being said, thank you for everyone that's participated. Sorry about the coughing. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.